So this is my Takamine. This is my main guitar. I play this quite a bit when I'm playing out. It's a model TAN16C, and I'm just going to basically do a quick setup on it. Needs strings really badly. These the last strings I put on here, these elixirs, went on the day after Christmas, and we're in the middle of July right now. So these are actually been bastardized. I've broken strings. I've got I probably put two different low or high E strings on here. I think I broke the G string on it a few times, so it's time. I'm gonna try these Martin SPs with the clear tone on here, and I'm gonna keep the same gauge, light gauge, and these are bronze, 80/20 bronze. So I'm gonna try those. But before I take these strings off, I'm checking the relief here, and right now the relief is about 11-12 thousandths, which is a little. It's a little more than I personally like. I generally like the relief to be down around 7-8 thousandths maybe. So I'm gonna adjust that now with the old strings on, and then we'll double check it. And the other thing I'll do is just kind of check the height at the nut over the first fret, the nut gauge action. But first I'm going to adjust the relief. Okay, this guitar, it's got the Truss Rod Adjustment right in here, similar to Martin, and had the properly sized hex wrench here. It's very easy to get to because the nut's right there. So I just tightened it a little bit, probably a quarter turn, maybe half turn, but now I'm down. I've got about 8 thousandths relief, which is personally about the amount that I like. Alright, now I'm checking the height of the string over the first fret from the nut, kind of the nut action, and I've done the E and the A, and actually are pretty good. I got 15 thousandths, 13 thousandths for the A, just doing the D now. The D's like 12 thousandths. So whoever did this nut setup so far it looks like they did a nice job here. Basically we set the gauge to 0, and you just push down on the string. Yeah, these are pretty low. This G is at 10 thousandths. You see this is the way I like to set up a nut. They all come down progressively lower and lower. And if you have good fretwork, you can get away with a fairly low nut action. The B here looks like it's like 9 or 10. I'll put 10. And the last one, the E, the high E string. It's about 10 as well. So the last three strings are 10,000. We go from 15, work our way down, and then we kind of end up at 10 thousandths down here, which is fine. That's good. I think rule of thumb, a lot of the factories will set them up. Maybe they'll put like a 20 thousandths feeler gauge or a 30 thousandths feeler gauge under here, and then just cut the nut. So if you want your nut like this, a lot of times you have to take it to somebody and have the nut adjusted. Or if you get your own nut files and have a way of measuring that, you can do it yourself. I'm going to take the strings off here. Basically, I'm just going to clip them off down at this end and save the majority of the string, because I know somebody that makes jewelry out of guitar strings, so I'm going to save these for her. So I'll keep as much of the string as I can. Alright, I got the strings off, and what I noticed, see if I can zoom in on this. I've got some minor, very minor fret wear, mostly on the lower, the first 5 frets, typical. So I'm going to give it a quick fret dress, and I've got these things that I got from StuMac, the fret erasers, I think they call them. They're 180, 400, 600 grit, 800, and 1000. And I've used them before. They're great for this kind of job. They go pretty quick. I've got this small shield we'll put on here. I won't even have to tape the fretboard. So let me get at that. We'll do the first one, and I'll show you how that looks. The first one's the worst. Okay, I'll use the coarsest one, which is the 180. And with the 180, I generally try and get whatever marks I see out to the greatest extent possible. Like I say, this one's the worst, so there's got a pretty big divot on the second string and the first string down here. See, I got most of the dents out. You can see the dents on the second fret, but I've got most of it. There's just very, very light right there. But that'll come out as I work my way up through the grits. Did the first 4 frets. They're the only ones that really needed it. With the 180, this is the 400 here. Alright, I'm down to the last one, 1000 grit, and when I got it to 800, I actually went all the way up the board just to get some of the oxidation off these on this free. And this is 1000 grit. It's really mild, but it's really bringing up a nice shine on them. Alright, so this is how they look directly after using the fret erasers up to 1000 grit. See, these up here they didn't need much. Just polished them up a little bit. So now I'm going to condition the fingerboard. You can see some marks from, even though I had the guard on here. I'll try and get these marks off first just by using some cleaner. If that doesn't take it off, then I'll use, and I hate using steel wool, but I'll use a little bit of fine steel wool. Alright, I've got this Dunlop 65 cleaner. Just going to see if it takes these marks off down here. With just this and soft cloth. Let's see what we got here. It's not bad, but I can still see some minor scratches going across. So I got some steel wool here. I'm just gonna concentrate on those scratches. I just don't like steel wool because of all steel fibers it leaves behind. But that's all I've got. I don't have any Scotch-Brite pad to use on it. So it's taking it right out. Okay, that's better. Now we'll do it again with the cleaner. This time I'll go right down the board. Okay, I consider this a cleaning and not a full conditioning. I'm going to use some linseed oil just to condition the fretboard because it hasn't seen anything since December. And I don't use linseed oil or very often. Just maybe once or twice a year. Let it soak in. Put it on and I wipe it right off. Okay. And that's it for the fretboard. Alright, what I'm doing now is just, I just got some distilled water. And I'm just wiping it down, get the sweat and smudges and dirt off of it before I use my, I am going to polish it, but before I put the polish on, instead of rubbing the dirt into the finish, just lift it off with some of this distilled water. Okay, now I'm just put some Martin guitar polish on it. It's got a great gloss on it. There's no more smudges or anything. Practically looks new. And I really believe that the distilled water really helps keep your finish because you're getting the majority of the dirt off instead of rubbing it in with the polish, even though it might be, let's see, what are they? Yeah, they call it a guitar polish and not so much a cleaner, but I think it's better to get the dirt off before you go rubbing it with the polish. Now for the strings. Takamine's got the through bridge, pinless bridge. So I just put a polishing cloth back here so I don't scratch. Scratch the back of the guitar as I'm putting the string through. And I'll put them all in. This is the D string here. So I'll put them all in and then we'll put them on the headstock. all the strings are on, and the way I put the strings on is I line up all the holes facing this way, and basically through the hole, leave yourself a little string, come back at the headstock around, and then lock it down. And it's the same way that Martin puts their strings on at the factory. And I do them all the same way. Alright, we just got to bring it up to tune. Okay, strings are on it. I got it tuned up. Stretch the strings out a little bit. Rechecking the relief here. We're about 6,000, 7,000 relief, so it gave back a little bit. But that's because the strings were off. I'll leave these on for a day or two and check it again, but that's fine. As long as I don't get any buzzing. No buzzing, it's not a problem. What else? Oh, action. Just looking at the action, I've never checked it on this. And I like it. That's why I haven't checked it. But my base E is about 6/64 high, and this is about 5, a little less than 5/64. So that's fine for me. This is a bigger guitar. Sometimes I play pretty hard, so I don't mind it being there. That's good action. I like the way the strings sound. That's it. Okay, sounds good, plays good.